Yes, hello guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I think it's afternoon for most people. Good morning if you're in North America. We're just getting ready. Please share the live, so that we can have more people join in. It's going to be an exciting one as we preview the Super Falcons match against Spain that is coming up tomorrow. Big game for us. Big game for us. In the Paris 2024 Olympics. If you're on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, so that you can engage in the chat. And of course, please like the video. Please like the video so that we can send a signal to the platform that we're creating good stuff, and then they can recommend it to more people. Thank you very much. While we're waiting, please let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Please let me know what part of the world you are tuning in from so that I can just greet you very quickly. Yeah, let me lower this music. Please let me know where you're tuning in from so that I can greet you very quickly, and then we'll kick things off in the next minutes. Thank you very much to everyone that is tuning in for this live match preview between Spain and Nigeria. I see you, Daniel from Croatia, all the way in the Balkans. I see you, Eagles flights in Anambra. Thank you very much. JK is in Munich. Thank you, JK, for joining us. Nelson is in Spain, Espana. So you're in the land of our enemies. But yes, thank you for joining. Okay, let us kick things off. Let us kick things off. Yes. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be joining us from. This is the Niger FC podcast, and we are live. As always, my name is AyoT, and I have with me my co-hosts.
Smith Layi, thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Smith Layi, please stop moving your mic too much. We're getting feedback. But yes, it is an exciting episode that we have coming up as we're going to be previewing the Super Falcons match against Spain. Smith Layi, before we get into the nitty gritty, you were at the opening game for us against Brazil. What was the atmosphere like? What was the feeling like being there?
Fantastic. It was so amazing to actually want to be there to see those girls actually were live in a competitive game. I felt more, attached to them emotionally. Watching live because I can see what every player were doing on the pitch. I don't think they are showing you everything on TV. So, I saw before the goal came. I knew that goal was coming. I was shouting to, I was shouting. I was, but it's just good to be part of the Olympic Games. Fantastic atmosphere, and we saw it's a friendly atmosphere. The Brazilians too were even clapping for Nigeria. Like it was just like a friendly enjoyment atmosphere. Everybody was really happy, and I was happy that to be part of that event. Fantastic atmosphere. I know I still have some of my opinions to share when we go further, but very good. I was really happy.
Okay. Good to hear. I wish I was there. I'm sure a lot of people wish that they were there as well. But I mean, still great to be able to watch. I remember when I watched the Super Falcons play against Canada. It was just great to be able to watch our team play. Even though now that with everything that we know, Canada were most likely spying on us in training. But that's a whole different conversation. But yes, again, I welcome everyone that has joined the live program today. Felix is joining from Cape Town. Emmanuel Emeka is in UAE. Emeka is saying, AyoT and Smith Layi, my best duo. Well done and great analysis. I choose to believe in the Falcons. Thank you, Emeka. We're glad that you enjoy the content. Sayudiza saying, I greet you. We greet you too. Thank you very much for tuning in. So yes, before we get into it, I'll say again, guys, please, if you're on if you're on YouTube, like the video, please. You can share it to more people on whatever platform you are. You can share it. But yes, we would like to get more people on. I know that this is not our regular time, but of course, with the games coming thick and fast, we have to find those moments wherever we can find them. But yes, we appreciate every single one of you that is tuning in. Okay, Smithlai, let's get into it. Um, I'll start by just giving people, I guess, an overview of what who we're playing, and what has happened so far. So of course we're playing tomorrow the Super Falcons against Spain. In case you don't know, maybe you don't pay attention to women's football that much. Spain are the current world champions, ranked number one by FIFA in the world. They won the World Cup last year in Australia in 2023. Um, and yeah, Spain are coming into this tournament. Interestingly, it is their first ever Olympic Games. Interestingly, for Spain, the women's team is their first ever Olympic Games. But of course, coming into the tournament as the world champions, they're the favorites to win it. They're the team to watch out for. They're the team to beat if you want to be able to go home with the gold medal at this tournament. So yes, Smidlai, what are your initial thoughts on the Spain team? How do you feel about them?
Like you're gonna be, you will be wrong if you underrate Spain. With the world champion, and we knew how they actually what. Though they have their own weaknesses too, but I think that they're very strong side. They stick to their pattern of play. And I remember your comments, in one of our group chat that they will lose weight. Our players will lose weight after this. I said I should share that they will probably lose weight too after this spring game. So they are a team that they have their identity and we know what they're gonna bring. So but
Mm,
I'm not really sure they know what we will bring.
mm,
So we have played them like underage and we're on the receiving end of most of those games. But this time around is going to be a different ball game. So they win, we go straight top for the table and probably qualify for the quarterfinals. And we win, we are in the better position to actually to qualify. So I think that it's going to be a very interesting game, and I hope that it lives up to expectations.
mm. Definitely going to be an interesting game. And yeah, like we'll get into it when we talk about it. But like I said, I think our players might have to run around a little bit in this game, and they might lose maybe five kilograms from all the running around that they are going to be doing. So yes, okay. Let's now get into recent form of the teams. So we're playing against Spain, of course. Like I mentioned, they're the world champions. In their last five matches, Spain have 4 wins and 1 defeat. So I think the first thing that tells Nigerians is that they are not an unbeatable team. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they win a lot, no doubt about that. They are a strong team, but they're not an unbeatable team. I don't think there's any team that is unbeatable. They have 4 wins and 1 defeat in their last 5 games. Their 1 defeat came against Czech Republic, Czechia, in Euros qualifying. I will say it was not their strongest squad on paper. Maybe they didn't want to exert themselves too much, but they lost against Czechia. And I'm sure if you ask most Nigerians, between the Super Falcons and Czechia, who's better? Most Nigerians will say the Super Falcons are better. So again, I'm just looking at things that we can grab onto to motivate ourselves and inspire ourselves. So yes, Spain are a beatable team. Of course, for the Super Falcons, for us, our recent form has not been the best. Of course, we've lost our last 2 games, against Brazil and against Canada. And then before that, we had 2 wins and a draw. One against Cameroon, one against South Africa, and then a draw against South Africa as well. So obviously, in terms of the recent form, Spain are the more informed team. But again, tournament, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Head to head, this is the first time that the Spanish women's national team, the first team, and the Nigerian women's first team will be going head to head against each other. So There's no, rivalry there. There's no record, nothing like that. But yes, Midlai, let me throw this to you now. When you look at the recent form of the Spaniards, the recent form of the Nigerians, is there anything that sticks out to you? Is there anything that's, does that invoke any feeling just looking at the recent form of both teams?
No, let me start with the Spanish team. You said it rightly that they lost to Czechia in 2-1, and that's it's encouraging. I don't think it's that encouraging because it's like Nigeria who played with Chan team, and you said that we lost that game against Togo. You now counted that one as part of our loss. I just think that if they play, because the same Czechia team too, they beat them 3-1, just before that game. So I think that they're a very strong side. We saw them at the World Cup. Though it's not as if they have this smooth sailing at the World Cup too. There were some games that were very close, like the game against Netherlands. I remember they needed extra time to beat Netherlands against England.
Oh,
So they have those close games. So in my opinion, I think that they actually were beatable. But the game that stands out for me was when they were when they had the full team against Italy and they lost at home against Italy. That was,
oh,
that was one thing that I knew that on a good day we should be beating Italy.
oh,
That's Super Falcons will be beating it on a good day. So that one stands out for me. And the issue basically is that the way they capitulated against Japan at the World Cup, 4-0, though they corrected the mistake here by 2-1. But I think that they have weaknesses too that we can actually what exploit. For me,
oh,
I think that we should not be. And I spoke to one Falcons player, the girl, very very close to you, and he said that the next game, don't worry, it's going to be a very tough game, but they are confident that they're going to actually win that game.
Amazing, amazing. And I've actually chatted and spoken to some of the Super Falcons players as well. And like you said, everybody knows that Spain is the best team in the world. It's going to be tough. But one thing that I love about our girls is that they always exude that confidence. They always believe in themselves. They know that they are going to fight for each other. And at the end of the day, they are going to give everything on the field. I don't think there's going to be a Super Falcons match that after the game, fans will be saying, "Oh, they were not trying hard enough. They didn't fight." No, they always fight for each other. They fight for the win, and then whatever result happens, it's football at the end of the day. Okay, let me see Olympics tournament so far for both teams. Of course, we're only one match day into the tournament. This is going to be match day two. In their opening game of the Olympics, Spain defeated Japan 2-1. They considered first, and then they had to come from behind, and they scored two good goals. If you didn't watch the game, even though it was 2-1, Spain largely dominated the game. They largely controlled the game. The goal that they considered was from a stunning free kick by the Japanese. So, Spain are a dominant team. I think they had about 70 something percent possession in that match, which is not surprising to us. If you watch Spain at all levels of football, whether male, whether female, this is the way they play. And on the Nigerian side, we lost 1-0 to Brazil in our own opening game. I'm sure most people must have watched that game. I think it was a 50-50 match, honestly. There were spells where Nigeria was in control. There were spells where Brazil was in control. 1 minute or 2 minutes of lack of concentration is essentially what cost us. We considered a goal, they said offside, and then in the next 60 seconds or so, we're considered another goal, just by playing a bad defensive line. So it was a very balanced game for Nigeria, whereas on the Spain side, they defeated Japan 2-1. Smith, like, what do you think of the opening fixtures for Spain and Nigeria, and how do you think this could affect going into the second match?
And I remember that when Japan took the lead against Spain in their because they played before us, so when they took the lead, I think you sent me a text that did I say it's happening again? Like I predicted Japan to take them to the cleaners, but they came back. I think this Spain team are more patient now,
Mm,
with their opposition. Like they are more patient. Now it's not as if they have something to prove. They are already the world champion. So they are more patient now with you. They want to know exactly what you will bring. They want to know how you will attack them so they can actually build their play, based on what you are presenting. So for me, I see them as one of the favorites to win this tournament because it just seems to be head and shoulders, above every team in this tournament. So I think they are favorite, but in football you can never say never. So for the Nigerian team, I was there, like told you earlier, live in the stadium. That game, I don't think we have any business losing that game. But I just realized that when we allowed Mata to start turning and everything in the midfield, I knew that experience is very vital. I knew that she might do something in this game. And before that, I realized that our left back was like, she did like twice, slow to come back, with that offside position. And I knew that, what's it called? David Nunes, will be looking for a way to actually exploit that weakness he actually noticed. But what surprised me, another thing that surprised me basically about our game is that the Brazilians tend to think that our left back is our weaknesses. I don't know. I think they've scouted that Ashley Plummer is not really available. So they knew that if they attack that area, that is where, because all of them kept on going to that area. They kept on attacking that area. They knew that that is where they can actually auto. So I knew that it was coming, and that was what happened. We considered the goal, which I think that we should. Oh, we don't have any business conceding, and also the point blank save from the goalkeeper too, which I think that our striker made it so easy for her to actually save it. But you can't just give up fine margins. But I think that we should be winning. Even the Brazilians were like, these Nigerians were surprised, in the stands, like, hey, Nigeriana, no, they were surprised. So, but unfortunately, we lost that game and was so painful.
The only thing that you said that maybe I would disagree with you on was that our striker made it easy for the goalkeeper to save. I've watched that clip of that chance like 30 times. I'm not even exaggerating, maybe even more than 30 times. And I posted this on Twitter as well yesterday. I think she should have scored. Absolutely. That was a golden opportunity. But for me, that was not an easy chance, man. That was not an easy chance. She flicked it onto Ajibade and she ran into the box. She even adjusted her run at a point, knowing exactly where the ball was going to fall. Ajibade played a beautiful cross. And it's not like she could control the ball, place it, anything like that. She literally had one opportunity to hit it on the volley. As soon as the ball was landing, she had to connect with it. They teach footballers in those moments, the most important thing is get the shot on target. It's very easy for you to strike that thing over. It's very easy for you to strike it wide because you don't have any time. You're not set. You're literally running into the ball. And she got it on target. In my own opinion, it was just a beautiful save by the goalkeeper. If that was Chiamaka Nadozie, we would have been hailing, Chiamaka, that's why she's the world best. That's why she's the best in Africa. We would have been hailing her. But the Brazilian goalkeeper, I know we're not Brazilian, but all of a sudden, a lot of people wanted to criticize our striker for not scoring that. And for me, again, like I say, I think she should have scored because it was a golden opportunity, it was a golden moment. But I'm not going to knock her, honestly, for not scoring it. I think she did it good by getting it on target, by connecting. Some people will lago that ball. She did good by connecting with it, by getting it on target. Unfortunately, the Brazilian goalkeeper was just in the right space at the right time. 9 times out of 10, that Brazilian keeper will not be in that position. But football is like that. At the end of the day, hey, it's not easy to score, man. That's the hardest job in football, scoring goals. But yes, so far, Spain defeated Japan. They are topping the group. They are level with Brazil on 3 points. And then, of course, Nigeria were languishing at the bottom with 0 points. Let me quickly go to the comments before we move on to the next topic in this match preview. Let me see what people are saying. On Instagram, Muyi King says Spain play possessive and attacking football. Yes, they do. Babs Bami says it's going to be a good game, but 30 possession will be 30-70 to the Spanish. Okay. Defatiga says we didn't take our chances in that game. Yeah, we didn't take our chances. Okad says we can't score goals. When was the last time we scored 2 goals in a game? The last time we scored 2 goals in a game was probably against Ethiopia or thereabouts, but maybe you've not been watching. But yes, let me see what else people are saying. Owelewa says we missed too many scoring chances. We should have heavily punished Brazil. We definitely missed at least 2 golden opportunities to take the lead. The one from Yezu and then the header from Demain that she went over. I think she should have got that one on target. I'm not even. I cannot criticize Demain because she played a fantastic game. But in my opinion, that Demain's header was even easier than the chance that Hazel missed that everybody's talking about. But let's not get into that. Um, let me see. Henry Nati says professional men footballers also miss a lot of those opportunities. Yeah, I definitely like after watching it back numerous times. I don't think it was an easy one. So I'm not knocking any player for missing that. Of course, I would have loved for her to score. I think she should have scored because it was golden opportunity for us. But I'm not knocking her. Somebody's asking me how can I watch the match? What time will it air? So the game is tomorrow, Spain versus Nigeria tomorrow. It is at he's asking about mountain time. I believe that is 11 a.m. mountain time. That is 12 no 1 p.m. Eastern time. That is 6 p.m. West African time. So wherever you are in the world, you can do the conversion from that. Unfortunately, I don't know all the time zones in the world. But if you are in if you are on European time, I believe Central European time, that is 7 p.m. for you. So yes, Black Hebrew King says, I just hope Randy brings the best players. Ajibade needs other Shabataka support her when she's taking off for sure. Bright says a little bit more self-belief is what the girls need. They got everything else. Um, Somebody says, I think Kano and Ajibade will start together. And then Inameka says, I think our girls will bring their A game to this match with Spain. This game would be similar to the England game at the last World Cup. So I see people quite hopeful. TC Gogo is saying, I think we showed that Randy took too many strikers. I don't really disagree. Rather, I don't really agree with that. I mean, he took a lot of strikers, but I'm not sure like that was obvious in the game yesterday. Last night striker when no scored the goal. I don't know how. I don't really know. Echegini just didn't get into a groove on the left wing. But we know that Echegini can drive at people, can be a good player. So it was just one of those days. I don't think it is. It all of a sudden speaks to squad selection. I would disagree with that. Okay, so let's get into how we can expect the Spanish to play. A lot of people have already said it. The Spanish national team, they like to play a possession style of football. They are always playing a high line, trying to put people under pressure, trying to come at the defense. They pass the ball around. They like to keep a lot of possession. But at the same time, I also think that there are areas that, they have some weaknesses. Again, with their passing style of play, with their possession-based style of play, sometimes they can lose the ball when in good positions for their opponents, because of how they're trying to pass the ball around. One misplaced pass, playing a high line, and you can lose possession. They also are not the most physical team. The Spanish coach has already been talking about it leading up to this game. She said that she knows that against Nigeria, they are going to have to compete in a lot of duels. She said that Nigeria is a team that has the ability to destabilize them when it comes to duels. She also said she already knows that Rashida Ajibade is the biggest threat, that they know her very well. Of course, because Rashida plays in Spain and they watch her every week. So they said they know her very well. They said they know Tony Payne very well as well. Tony Payne has been playing for Sevilla. She just moved to Everton, and they said that they know that Nigeria has one of the best goalkeepers in Chiamaka in Adozie. So while they have their strengths, they have their weaknesses, they are also well aware of the Nigerian team. Smith Layi, what do you think, are some of the key points or the key things that Nigerian fans need to be aware of when it comes to this Spanish team?
So for me, I think there are some key battles in that game that we need to actually seriously win that those key battles. For me, I don't really think that the battle between Mata and Abiodun, despite her performance, I don't think she won that battle. Abiodun did not do well, but I don't think she won. She didn't do badly. Sorry, I don't think she won that battle. So, but this time around now, she needs to against what's it called? Against the lady with the left foot
See,
from yeah.
sorry, I was going to say that Mata and Abiodun battle is like if maybe Spain and somebody should play and the score is 6-5.
Uh-huh.
Both people. She played very well. Mata played very well, but Mata had the edge over her.
Edge over her,
So
yes.
yeah, it's like a 6-5 game. That's both,
Five
but
game,
somebody wins. Yeah, but go
yes.
on.
So I think she needs to win a battle now against Emoso because Emoso is going to play a similar role like what Mata did against for Brazil. She's the one that wants to play the final ball and everything with her good left foot. For me, I think I don't know, but I just think that Mata is like more dangerous, maybe because she was playing the way she was rolling her, like, the way she was rolling on balls there was just
mm,
like it was breathtaking. I think that battle, Abiodun needs to win that battle. I also think that Bomati battle, because I saw
mm,
one guy send a clip to me that my my favorite Christy, that Bomati battle, she needs to stop her from playing because she's someone that Bomati can come deep and dictate the pace, of the of the game. So I think the Bomati battle, I think Christy needs to stop her, and she see she has the potential to actually destabilize her. And there's one thing the Brazilian did well in our game was that anytime Christy is on the ball, they normally sandwich her. Like three
mm,
people will come. So and I spoke to her about it. Say, why we say if you touch the ball, they want to. I think they realize that she might be the chief creator. She might try to be
mm,
the one that will play the pre-assist pass. You know,
mm,
so they really went after her. So I was thinking that if people sandwich like that, they might have left some spaces. Why can't we just try and like exploit those spaces? But the issue is that there's no even passing opportunity for her.
mm,
So I think this time around, she needs to stop. She's going to be different battle. She needs to stop Bob Marley from actually playing. And the battle of all battles will be on the right hand side. That is Agibade against I think the lady from Real Madrid. What's her name again?
Olga Carmona.
Olga Carmona. So that is going to be the battles of all battles. And I see a battle of Messi Ashley Cole. Those
Hmm.
battles that at the end of the day, Messi will still have. It's going to be a tough battle, but Messi will still have that edge. So, but I am more confident now. A day or two after the game, I just think that we need to actually do well.
Mm. Okay, okay. I think on my side, I had picked out, in terms of key players, I had picked out 4 players on each team
Hmm.
that I think people need to be aware of, and that can be either that can make or break either side when it comes to this match.
Hmm.
I really spent time last night, analyzing that Spain game against Japan, watching it back, seeing how they played, seeing how Japan played. Um, and the first player that I will point out for people to pay attention to, on the Spanish side, is Caldente. No, Alexia Putellas. Sorry, well, I'm going to talk about Alexia Putellas. Alexia Putellas, of course, is a 2-time Ballon d'Or winner. She plays for Barcelona in the Spanish La Liga Femina, and she is a fantastic player. She played from the start in the game against Japan, and I believe that she will likely start again against Nigeria. She's a fantastic player. A lot of what they do goes through her. Unfortunately, she's on the older side now, so she's not their key or their what's the word, their most important player anymore. But she's somebody that still has a lot of quality, and she has to be managed properly. The second player that I want to highlight on the Brazilian, or rather on the Spanish side, is Caldente. Caldente scored the goal for Spain, in that game. She scored, I believe, the winning goal. And she's a player that plays from the left wing, and she likes to cut into the right. She likes to, if she's crossing the ball, a lot of the time she'll put it on her right foot to try to cross it in, or she'll put it on her right foot, play a pass to the midfielder, and then try to make a run. Spain like to play those passes between the center back and the fullback. The winger plays it out to the midfield, either to Bonmati or to Putellas, whoever is there, and then they try to find a pass between the fullback and the center back. Those passes can be very dangerous, and Caldente always likes to make herself available for those kinds of balls. That's how she scored the goal against Japan from a Bonmati assist. And I think that is something that we have to watch out for. Whoever our fullback on the right is, whether it's Nicole Payne or it's Michelle Alozier, I think they're going to have a full day, because they would have to be fully concentrated for 90 minutes full concentration for 90 minutes so that they always are aware of where Caldente is on that left hand side. I think that she could be a key player for Spain, and she's somebody that we have to watch. I think another player that we have to watch for sure is Salma Paraluelo. Salma Paraluelo, striker for Barcelona. She was the second highest goal scorer in the Spanish La Liga Femenina last season. She didn't score in the first game, but she's always a goal threat. She has similar abilities to Gabi Nunes, who scored the goal against us. She's a deadly finisher. If you leave her in a good position, you give her a chance to go one-on-one against Chamaka, it could be a tough night for us. Of course, we know how good Chamaka is, but hey, there is no keeper in the world that cannot be beaten, by a good shot, by a good strike, by a good finish. So I think we definitely need to pay attention to Salma Paraluelo. And then finally, maybe the most obvious one, if you know anything about women's football, the player that we have to be aware of right now on the Spanish team is Aitana Bonmati, the Ballon d'Or winner, regarded by many people as the best player in women's football right now. And she ran the show for Spain against Japan. Everything that happened went through her. Like I said, Putellas is very good in that midfield, but Bonmati right now is even better in that midfield. Also plays for Barcelona. So that's another thing that they have. A lot of their players play for Barcelona. So they know each other very well. Their chemistry is there. The ones that don't play for Barcelona, maybe they play for Real Madrid. Or they play for Atletico Madrid. So they know each other very well. They play similar styles at their clubs. And I think Bonmati could be a very, very important player. She got 1 goal and 1 assist against Japan. She ran the show for them. So it's going to be an interesting night. And just using that to segue into the Nigerian side, again, some interesting matchups that we have to be aware of, some key players in that game. The first Nigerian key player that I will mention is Deborah Abiodun. Of course, we saw how she had a very, very tough battle in that opening fixture against Mata. Even to the point that Mata at the end of the game went to hug her and and acknowledge her that, see, girl, you did a good job. I think Abiodun is going to have to put in a similar, if not better, performance against Spain, because she is going to be matched up, most likely with Alexa Putellas. And Alexa Putellas is a very experienced player. I think she's 29 or 30 years old right now. She knows how to control a game. I think Abiodun is going to have to be very smart, very clever. Know when to press, know when to hold your shape, know when to stick a foot out for the tackle, know when to just, jockey and let the player come at you, or guide the player to an angle that there is not as much threat. She cannot just rush into every tackle. These Spanish players are very technical. They are very good on the ball. They are skilled players. And if you rush at them too much, it is not going to be easy for us. So that's something that we definitely have to be aware of. Abiodun is going to have tough nights. Another player that I think is going to play a key role for us in this game. I mean, of course, we have to talk about her, Rashidat Ajibade. She was our best player on the field against Brazil. She was by far the biggest threat that we had. We saw how she was cooking that Brazilian left back for the entire first half until the left back got injured. They brought somebody else. She started cooking that one too, and then in the second half, they moved her into the midfield a little bit more, and she was still a threat from that midfield. So I think if the Super Falcons are going to have a good performance, if the Super Falcons are going to get a good result against Spain, Rashidat Ajibade is going to be one of those players that is going to be influential. If she doesn't have a good game, I pray she does, but if she doesn't, I hope that other players will be able to step up. I mean, we saw the first game against Canada at the World Cup last year when Ajibade was suspended. We still played a good game. So we have good players in our team, but I think that Rashidat Ajibade, is going to be key for us in this match. Another player that I have to point out that I think is going to be important for us is Christy Uchebe. Christy Uchebe, of course, she is also going to be in a key midfield battle, probably against Aitana Bonmati, who I referenced and I mentioned is the best player in the world. You see this picture on your screen. I feel like after the match, this is what Christy is going to look like. She is going to be on the floor. She is going to be tired because she is going to have an intense battle. I don't know if she will be able to play box to box like Randy Waldrum once had to play. In this game, she might need to be more of a sitting DM with Deborah Abiodun, because the Spanish are going to have a lot of possession. We already know that we don't keep possession that well. That's not news to us. We don't keep possession that well, and the Spanish do. So I think Christy is going to put in a lot of tackles. She's going to run a lot of kilometers, and she's one of those players that might just drop 5 kg in this match. But if she does well, if she and Abiodun do well in that midfield, I think it will give us a good chance of getting a positive result in this game. And then my final Nigerian player that could be a key factor in this match, I think I have to talk about her, is Chiamaka Unadozie, the best goalkeeper in Africa, one of the best goalkeepers in all of women's football. Spain will shoot. They will shoot. And they will shoot quite a bit. They will shoot quite a lot. So Chiamaka is going to have to be on her A game. Chiamaka is going to have to be active. She's going to have to come through for us with 1 or 2 saves. I think it would be unwise of me to come on live and tell you guys that Spain will not have chances against us. Let's be realistic. It's football. It is now football against the best country in the world. Spain will have a few chances, but we have to manage those chances to make sure that they're not clear-cut chances. And Chiamaka has to be able and ready to make saves when she's called upon. Do I believe that she will? Yes, I have full. I think the two players on the Super Falcons that I can never doubt what I will get from them are Chiamaka Nadozie and Rashida Ajibade. Every match day, I know what I'm going to get from them. Chiamaka, even though she made one bad pass in that Brazil game that led to a chance, I mean, she still saved it. But I know what I'm going to get from her. She's going to command her area. Any ball in the box, she's going to come and claim it, or she's going to punch it. And if your head is there, she will punch your head with it. She will make saves. We already know how good she is making saves. So I think Chiamaka Nadozie is also going to be another player that could be key in this game. Okay, before we move on to the next topic again, let me go back to the comments very quickly to see what you guys are saying. I know we've been talking for some time. So let me see what you guys are saying. Abs on Instagram says, nice one, AyoT. We love this. Thank you very much. Subadele says, well done, AyoT and Smith Layi. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate you guys for joining in. Muyi King says, Spain will play Aitana and Putellas over Hermoso. He says, yeah, Mariona is dangerous, but Bomati is the best that makes herself available for all forwards. Let me see what else people are saying on Instagram. Somebody's asking what time is the match. It's at 6 p.m. Nigerian time tomorrow. Paul Oidi is saying, yes, Christy Uchebe should not play box to box. Okay. Let me see. Muyi King says, AyoT, our star player, our DMs, keeper, and one forward. So it means that we cannot score. I don't think it means that we cannot score. I'm just being realistic based on the team that we have and based on the team that we are playing against. It's not going to be easy, you know. Jonah says, I think we should do marking very well and then burst on the counter. Play fast game. Once you get the ball, be fast on the decision. Okay. And then on other platforms, let me see. On YouTube, oh, I see we have a super chat. Thank you very much. Black Hebrew King says with $10, it says, my bro, make you buy coffee with this. Thank you very much. I'm more of a tea guy than coffee, but we appreciate you for supporting the channel. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Let me see what other people are saying. Felix Peters says they are very beatable. Falcons do well against possession-based teams. Okay. Chineme says, I perceive Echegini plays better from midfield. Okay. Eagles Flight says, I think we're better off a counter-attacking team. We don't keep possession like the Spaniards. Okay. Black Hebrew King says, I'd love Nicole to start too. Also, I miss Ashley. Ada J3 says, Ajibade should cut in sometimes since Spain knows she loves to go right to the end line. Okay. Felix says, Bonmati is a big threat. Eagles Fly says, please don't mention their names. Just use Spaniards. Why are you saying that? Am I butchering their names? I don't speak Spanish, so forgive me. Let me see. Black Hebrew King says, since they know Ajibade, we can also use her to free other attackers. They are bound to double team or even triple team her, which will free other attackers for her to cross. Okay. Eagles Flight says Tony Payne needs to turn up big time. She definitely needs to. She needs to. She and Echegini, they need to show us what they didn't show us in that first game. I believe that they can. Any Yankee Joe says, I believe Falcons can get the draw with Spain or probably win. Sure. I believe in our girls. Okay. Lamy says Falcons will do well against Spain. I see a draw game. They do well against the Europeans because they cannot match us physically. Victor Cobham on Facebook says, I believe our best chance of qualifying lies in the match against Japan. The Falcons can beat them. We're not talking about Japan right now, but thank you for your comment. Felix Peter says, Salma is their most dangerous attacker. Bright says, we need the very best. Abiodun Uchebe was very good. Um, let me see. Bright says Unadozie is the best goalkeeper in the world. Who's actually better than her? I love that praise for Unadozie. Maker says, I think the coach should use Oshawala to start this game with Ajibari and Kanu. Nico will start in place of Chidima. Don't worry, we'll get to lineups towards the end. We'll get to the lineups. So people that are asking about Oshawala and other people, we'll get to the lineups towards the end of the show. Okay. Smith Layi, anything you want to add on the key players and matchups before we move on?
So I think that as for all like I think you've mentioned Pitiasu as one of the players I wanted to mention. Fantastic player. I think even she's two-time World Player of the Year, so we expect a lot from her. But I think that's pretty much.
Okay. Moving forward. Let us now talk about what could be the keys to success for Nigeria. If the Super Falcons are going to win this game or even get a draw in this game, Smith Layi, I'll let you go first. What do you think are the keys to success?
One thing is effective communication. Effective communication. If it's possible, all of them should be using pidgin. Say this thing so that at least it will be like a left. So it's not as if somebody is speaking American English, someone is speaking this thing. What do you say? What? No, all of this should be effective words, communication, so that at the end of the day, you know exactly what this person is talking about. I don't think there was effective communication between Jennifer Chegine and Chidima Okeke. I don't think there was that because that was where I sat, and of course that was where I sat, and I don't think there was effective communication between them, in my opinion. So I think that's number one. Because I won't lie to you, this is a properly well-drilled team. It's not like Brazilians. They were 6 months. This is a properly they can play ball. Any lack in concentration, we're in trouble. And secondly, too, the coach should not be scared to make big changes. For me, I think the back four that ended the game should start. Because I think the lady is Nico Payne.
Yeah,
she's a natural fullback. Because when she came on, she was on my side. I saw the way she's so tidy, like the way she was doing. I was like, she was so tidy in possession. So I think that big changes from the coaches, communication, and secondly, too, that should play with the team when necessary. She can't do it all alone. She should play with the team when necessary. I know that she was trying to do, but she should play with the team when necessary. So that I just think that, and I think if they can do those things, I think and take our chances, I think we're gonna win the game.
Well said. Okay, for me, what do I think could be the keys to success in this game? I think my first one, organization. And I think organization ties into what you said about communication, because for you to be organized, you have to be communicating well. We have to be organized. Let's not deceive ourselves. We are going to come under a lot of pressure in this match against Spain. They are going to hold the ball. They are going to try to pass it around, try to break us down. They're going to try to draw players out of position. Like the goal we considered against Brazil was a result of just keeping a bad defensive line, and we considered one goal. We cannot afford for that to happen. If one player is behind and all the other players are ahead, trust me, Bonmati will find that pass. Trust me, Putellas will find that pass. Caldente will make that run. Paraluelo will make that run. So we have to be very compact and organized in defense. Spain like to play through the middle a lot. So we need to make sure that we squeeze them in and there are no tight spaces. Try to force them to the wings. Let them play crosses. Honestly, um, I feel fairly confident that if we allow Spain to cross, we have a better chance of dealing with it than allowing them to try to be picking passes through the middle, because they are very dangerous with those passes. Let them play it out, let them cross. We have Demain, we have Ohale in that defense. They are physical, they are imposing, and they can win headers. I wish we had Ashley, but we don't, but we can win headers. So we have to stay compact. We need to pick our moment. And that leads me to my next key to success: be quick in transition. This game is going to be a game that we have to get our counter attacks very, very right. We have to get our counter attacks very right. I went and I watched the Japan versus Spain game back. Japan, a lot of the opportunities that they got were from winning the ball back in midfield and then running at the Spaniards. One thing, like I mentioned earlier, they like to pass the ball around, but they are human beings, they're not perfect. So sometimes they will play a bad pass, they will lose possession. And when Abiodun or Uchebe or whoever it is, when you win possession in that midfield, because of the high line they play, there can be spaces, or there will be spaces behind their fullbacks or in between their fullbacks and their center backs. I saw this pattern happen a number of times in the game against Japan because of the high line they play. If Uchebe wins the ball back, Ajibade, get on your bike if you see that space. Whoever is on the other flank, get on your bike if you see that space. Be quick in transition, because if you allow them to all run back to, organize themselves, it becomes harder for you to break them down. Run at their fullbacks, play balls in behind. Our striker, whoever the striker is, needs to disturb their center backs. The striker needs to be sure that if Ajibade is whipping a crossing, if Echegini is whipping a crossing, if Tony Payne is whipping a crossing, you have to be there. You have to be there. It's going to take a lot of running, a lot of effort, but we have to make it work in a game like this, especially after losing our first game, especially playing against the best team in the world. We have to take our chances, be quick in transition, disturb their center backs. And I will also say, our players should not be scared to shoot. Our players should not be scared to shoot. The Spanish have a good goalkeeper, but she's not great, in my own personal opinion.
Yes.
Do not be scared to shoot. If she saves it, the rebound can fall to the striker. Again, that's why the striker should always make sure that they are in that box. The rebound can fall to somebody in a dangerous position. Do not be scared to shoot. Trust me, the Spanish will not be scared. They are going to shoot. They are going to shoot. So we too should not be scared. I think that we can test their goalkeeper. By the time we give her a few shots, she will know that okay, she's here for a game. Do not be scared to shoot. Of course, I'm not saying shoot from center circle. No, I'm not saying be shooting from 40 yards. But if you are on the edge of the box, if you are inside the box, you have the space. Don't try to overthink it. Don't try to overdo it. Do not be scared to take a shot. I believe that we must test their goalkeeper, and let's see if she can come to the party. And then finally, whether it's Oshuala, whether it's Okoronkwo, whoever the center forward is, be ready to work. Be ready to win aerial balls. Be ready to hold up play, and be ready to catch them on the counter. I don't know who's going to start from the attack, whether it's the Ezuo, Oshuala, or Koronko, anybody. Just be ready. Aerial balls, you must win them. You must get that first ball, knock it down for your teammates. Hold up position and allow your team come back into play when you need to do that. And then when we get the ball again, like I said, be quick in transition. The center forward needs to be ready to run. Make that run. Let the criticism be that you are making runs and the players are not passing to you. Don't let it be that you're not making those runs. I think if we can get these things right, it would improve our chances of success. Does it mean that if we do these things that I mentioned, we are for sure going to win the game? No, it doesn't mean that. Before somebody will come and say, AyoT, you told them to play counter, you told them to do this, and they did not win. I'm not saying that we'll for sure win the game, but based on my analysis, based on my knowledge, I think that if we do these things right, be compact, be organized in defense, defend as a team, be quick in transition, run at their fullbacks, play balls in behind, striker, be in the box, be quick, hold up play, win aerial duels. I think it gives us our best chance of success against a team like Spain. I want to go back to the comments, but Smith Layi, do you have anything to just add to that before we go
Yeah,
to the comments?
I agree with you. Organization is like a bigger thing. Communication too is also part of it. So we have to be organized. The way we organize against England, we have to actually be organized. They must know what they actually was wanted to do. Everybody must know the role they have to play in that game. I can tell you clearly that a single player cannot win this game for us. It has to be a collective effort, and I can tell you that these players must play for themselves. That is it.
Hmm. All right, all right. I know a lot of people have been commenting, so let me just go to the comments very, very quickly. Somebody says Jonah 16 on Instagram says Randy should decide between Echegini and T Pain. Okay. Felix says play Jennifer Echegini as an attacking midfielder and shift Tony Payne to right wing. She is good 1v1. Okay. Let me see. Felix also says Nicole Payne must start. Let me see what else people are saying on Instagram. Super Falcons need to know how to win free kicks around the penalty area or penalties. I mean, winning penalty is not there's no you cannot just I know how to win penalties. It's not that easy, but I understand I understand what you're saying. But yeah, set pieces can be a key for us. So we need to also be good from our set pieces. Muyi King says, let them go and work on shooting because we should shoot when we don't have a better player in space to pass. Okay. Jonah 16 says, I think Esther should start because she's quick and has a good conversion rate. Okay. And another person, Slice, saw me saying Onumonu can do the work up front. When I come to YouTube and Twitter or X, let me see what people are saying. TY of Lagos on X says, I think it would be best to deploy Echegini behind the striker, then play Kano on the left, Ajibade on the right, and Esther up front. Felix Peter says, but against Spain, I would prefer Christie plays as a DM and let Abiodun play the box-to-box role. For me, I think I would prefer both of them play as DMs. But I also think that Randy Waldron prefers Uchebe in that box-to-box role. He coaches Abiodun every day at college. So I'm sure he knows her abilities and he knows what she's quite good at compared to Uchebe. So if he plays Uchebe ahead of her in that box to box role, then I think it must mean something. But yeah, Enameka says I would prefer Uchebe to join the defense or close um, to our defense. Checking I don't can manage the midfield areas. Okay. Um, Chine Chineme says Nicole should start. I agree. Abina says IoT, please don't predict today. Even Smith Layi should not predict his high blood pressure prediction. Okay. TY of Lagos says if Alozie can play left back like she did against Brazil, then she should start there and Nicole should start at right back. Okay. AB says the reason why we lost that game was just mentality. The girls didn't believe they could take on Brazil and win the game, and for sure they lost. Everything you said in this comments is wrong. Everything you said in this comments is wrong. I don't like when people speak to mentality of players without actually speaking to the players. I spoke to the players. They all 100% believed that they could win the game. The plan was to go and win the game. You are just guessing. You don't know their mentality. Nothing was wrong with the mentality. It's a game of football. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So I think it's absolutely wrong to question their mentality. They believed that they could win. Even Spain, I've spoken to some players already. They believe that they can beat Spain as good as Spain are. So why wouldn't they believe that they can beat Brazil? Um, Anne says, I hope the coach is watching this. I don't think he's watching, but who knows? Who knows? Uh, Maybe he can take one or two things away. Um, TY says enough praises isn't said of us naturally. She's been solid every time she puts on a jersey. Yes, we cannot doubt the experience, the ability of us naturally. She's a quality defender for sure, and she has also come through in important moments. Remember that goal that she scored against Australia at the last World Cup. Okay. Then Ameka said, you just said it's the back four that ended should start. So Smith is agreeing with you. In fact, the players that ended should start. Assistant can come on as a sub. Okay. Smith people are singing your praises. Emeka says, Smith you analyze football very well. I would say the coach should stick to the World Cup team. There is no room for something new. Uezo is not bad, but I feel she'll be good for AFCON. Okay.
Wafcon.
Um, Adegbola Temitope says, "Good day, AyoT and Smith Layi. Key to success tomorrow: good organization and good selection, especially in attack. I believe we need Super Z in the attack." Okay, Hassana says Nigeria have to make use of any single chance they get. Um, Let me see what else people are saying. Somebody else is saying they didn't believe that they can beat Brazil. They believed 100%. They believed. Steve Onoli says, Oga, your football no be by mouth. The girls no fit play this group. I don't think anybody has said football is by mouth. So I'm not sure why that comment is just hating. Nigerians, I feel like the least that we can do is support the team. I hate to make things personal, but whenever people talk about footballers like this, I always say, okay, what job do you do? Okay, you're an engineer. Are you one of the best engineers in the world? No. But your parents still love you, Abi. Your parents still support you, Abi. So why can't you support our players, even though they are not the best team in the world? You know, we see countries that literally have no chance. San Marino, when have you ever seen them win football match? But their fans don't insult them.
Mm-hmm.
Their fans still go and support them, speak highly of their players every time. But Nigeria, we always like to talk, oh, we cannot play our beg. It's not like, come on, guys. The least you can do is just support the team. Nobody is saying they're the best team in the world. Nobody is saying they'll win every match, but just support. Like, that's what it means to be a fan. Through the good and the bad, support. It's not when they are winning, you praise them. When they are not winning, you start insulting or tell they are not good, they're not that, they cannot play. I don't like people that speak like that. Okay, Emmanuel says, I think they should hold the ball more and play fast counter attacking football against Spain. Okay, let me see. And Felix is calling you guys on YouTube out. 109 people watching, but only 16 like. We can do better. Please like the stream. Thank you, Felix. I also agree that you guys can do better. If you are watching on YouTube, please just like the stream. It doesn't cost any money. It only takes a couple seconds. It sends a good signal to YouTube that we're doing something good. It helps the channel grow. If you don't want to like the stream, send super chat. You can choose. If you don't want to like, you can send super chat. Anyone, but please like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. It helps to send signals that we are doing good stuff. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, enough with the comments on that. So we've spoken about keys to success. Let us move on now, Smith. Let us move on. It's almost time for us to call fans, or for fans to call in and share their thoughts. So I'm going to share the link on all social media platforms now. If you want to join the conversation, just click the link. Make sure you have a camera on. Make sure that you are well dressed. You are in a good position. We don't want to see anything ungodly. We are children of God here. Make sure you are well dressed. You are in a good position. Obviously, be mindful of language because this is a family friendly show. And we would love to hear your thoughts on the game, your predictions, and everything in between. But yes, Smith, like while we're waiting for people to join, okay,
Yes.
let's get into lineups and prediction. How do you think the Super Falcons should set up going into this game?
You know, I'm going to talk about how I think, and I'm going to take it from how a Super Falcon player think they should line up.
Hmm.
So I know I'm not mentioning them, but I think that after discussing with the person said that our striker will need help up front. That the lineup was like similar to like a 4-5-1 against Brazil.
Hmm.
The Yezuo was actually lonely up front. That she will probably need help.
Hmm.
That if we could line up in a 4-4-2 the way we ended against Brazil, that they will be uncomfortable. But I think that there are two different games. I think the Brazilians 4-4-2 might really work against them, but I don't think it can work against Spain because we need numbers in midfield to actually what to. So for me, I'm still going to go with a 4-3-3 formation that can even be a 4-5-1 if if situation actually what is actually what needed. So I'm going to go with the usual suspects, Chama Kanadoze, Shuashu, Bingo, I'm going to go with Tony and Nico Payne as a right back.
Mm.
And I'm going to also go with Alozie as a left back, but I beg you make sure you use right too. That but those it's there. Make sure you use right.
We remember what happened last time she used her left.
What happened last time we use our left? I beg make sure they use right too. So
Mm.
for in the center defense to Tosin Mai and Osinachi Hale, up front, I think in the midfield, Christy Ushebe and I hope she's 100% fit. Christy Ushebe and Deborah Biodun. And also ahead of them, I think it's going to be Jennifer Chegine. I think the coach, just like Jude Bellingham and Faye Foden, these are our coaches. They don't know how to play. What's it called? How to play the two of them together. Jennifer Chegine and Nico and Tony Payne. So I think the way what happened to Gary Southgate during Euros is what's happening to Coach Andy Wardrum. He needs to decide who will play between Tony Payne and Jennifer Chegine. If you really like that Tony Payne, well, you cannot do without her. A player on the wings. But I think that's in front of them. I think it should be Jennifer Echegide, in my opinion. And I think that in the left, despite the mouth-watering battle between Oge Kamona and Jennifer and Rashida Hagibade, I will play on the left because I think that I don't want her to cross the ball now. I want her to cut in. Because I think she's more dangerous when she cuts in. Because cross the ball now, you don't know, maybe somebody will just what happened last time will happen. Oh, you balloon the ball. You do simple that. No, she's our most dangerous player. We have to maximize how we can actually use her. I think she should be cutting from that place. I know Kamona, sorry, we can have a good day later. See you later. But I think everybody should be on the left. I also think that on the right, I think it might be Tony Payne. In my opinion, I think the country will go for Tony Payne, in my opinion. And I also think up front, Esther Koronko. See, when they brought her on, I didn't know she was the one. So I thought it was McLean they brought on. I said, so McLean get footwork like this? I didn't know that it was because I went to go and buy drink, in the section. So before I came, they don't start the corner. So I said they don't change some few things. She don't they move with the ball. What? She just left. I'm not kidding with this until she now came very close to me. Now Esther with this. I think I will support her to start in that game. So that's how I will start my team.
Okay. I think I'm going to honestly agree with you almost entirely. Goalkeeper Tochukole, I'm joking. Chiamakana Dozie has to start in goal. Without a doubt, Chiamakana Dozie in goal. I think left back, I want to see that switch. I want to see Nico Payne come into the game, so I'm going to put Alozie at left back. Normally I might have said, maybe Nico Payne should be the left back, but we saw what Alozie did when she played left back for the last 15 minutes against Brazil. She wasn't bad. So let's see what she can do against Spain. And then I'll put Nico Payne on the right. Let her play in a natural position. Nico Payne is a natural defender. She's going to be going up against Caldente, who I think is going to be a threat. So I would rather a natural defender. Alozie is not a very good defender. We already know this. So I would rather her play against, quote unquote, the weaker of their two wingers. So I'll play Nicole on the right. I'll play Alozie on the left. In midfield, I think we should play two holding midfielders, Abiodun and Christy Uchebe. Playing two holding midfielders does not mean that Uchebe can never go forward when we have possession. She can. But I think she needs, out of possession, she needs to be sitting alongside Abiodun, closing those gaps and trying to win tackles, trying to make interceptions. I think it is necessary against a team like Spain. Ahead of them, I would agree with you and I would say play Jennifer Echegini ahead of them. Let her play through the middle. Let's see what she can offer. If she's not impressive too much, you can change things a little bit. But, let us see what she can offer playing from the middle. And then on the left, I'll put Ajibade. On the right, I would put Tony Payne. But I want them to be switching during the game. I want them to be showing different things to the fullback. Ajibade is better than Tony Payne. That's the reason why I would start her on the left. Tony Payne is a better crosser than Ajibade. That's the reason why I will start Tony Payne on the right. Let Ajibade be cutting in like Smith Layi said, sometimes she can run to the byline as well and cross with her left, and then let Tony Payne be crossing the ball from the right hand side. I think Tony Payne can put in some good crosses and can cause some problems for the Spanish defense. And then up front, I would also agree with you with Esther Okoronkwo. I think Esther Okoronkwo has one of the best goals to game ratios in the team right now. Her conversion rate is actually very good. She's a good finisher, and she's a player that plays with confidence. She's not scared. She will shoot. I know that for a fact. If she gets opportunities around the area, she will shoot. So I want to see what Okoronkwo can offer. What I will say is that at some point, I want to see Asata Oshoala. I do want to see Asata Oshoala at some point. I hope it's not when we're losing 3-0 or 2-0. I hope that doesn't happen. But at some point, I would want to see Asata Oshoala. I would want to see what she can offer. I mean, she plays against these Spanish girls, or she played against them for years. She played against them in training. I'm sure she can offer one or two tips to the team that can help us to get the better of them. So I would like to see Oshoala at some point, maybe 60 minutes when Okoronkwo is a bit fatigued, because I think she's going to have to work out. Oshoala can come in and offer some dynamism, some extra pace in the attack, some extra physicality and some good finishing. Because Oshoala is still a good finisher when she gets the chance to show her stuff. So yeah, that would be it for me. And then, like I said, if Echegini is not performing too well, then I would say, okay, maybe take Echegini away from the middle. You can maybe put Tony Payne back in the middle, and then you can bring on maybe an Onumonu or maybe a Kanu, because even if you bring Kanu on, you play as a striker, you can move Okoronkwo to the wing. Okoronkwo can do a decent job from the wing as well. So that's kind of what I will say for that one. And then Smith Layi, before we take callers, match prediction. We've spoken about how good the Spanish are. We've spoken about all the things the Falcons need to do, keys to success, how we think they should set up. Now, let's speak to the gods. What is your prediction for this game? What's your prediction? Okay, I'll say give us two predictions. Give us what your head is telling you, and then give us what your heart is telling
you. For me, I'm going to just give you a slight background to this.
Okay.
I met one guy from AFTV, Tai, on the way. He told me something that I should watch out for it. And I took that in the back of my mind. And he said that when I was going to the airport, he said that the game between Nigeria and Spain is going to be similar to the game between Nigeria and Spain in 1998. He said, in the same stadium. He said, when they were going, the Spanish team, because we were losing our game, we were not strong. He said 5-0, 5-0. We were more pressing 5-5-5. I don't know how they were saying it in Spanish. 5. He said, but in that same stadium, that history will repeat itself. That Nigeria will shock the world by beating Spain in Nantes. Because then it was in Nantes. They said Nigeria will shock the world by actually beating Spain in Nantes. And I also key to that. Despite that, I'm not really optimistic about it about a day or two ago. And I'm going to actually key into that. That there's going to be goals at both ends of the game. That the game will also resemble the game between Nigeria and Australia in the second game at the last Women's World Cup. I see goals at both ends. I see a total of 5 goals being scored. And I see the Super Falcons of Nigeria coming on top by 3-2.
Is this your head or your heart? Or both?
This is my heart.
So what's your head saying? If they say you should place 1 month's salary now, what will you place on the
if I have to bet, I'll bet £1 on it. but it's a lighter note. My head is telling me that it's going to be 0-0.
Okay. I'll go with my head first. I don't think it's going to be a goalless game. I think there will be goals. I think there will be, I want to say 4 goals in the match. So my head is telling me 3-1 to Spain. I really hope it doesn't happen, because you guys know how much I love the Falcons and how much I want them to win. If I had to place my salary, I would say 3-1 to Spain. But my heart what my heart is telling me, with all the love that I have for the Falcons, for Nigeria, with the passion that I have, my heart is telling me, see, look, AyoT, these girls are going to go out there, they are going to shock the world. My heart is telling me that Nigeria will win this game by 2-1. Ajibade gets a goal, Oshoala comes off the bench and scores the winner. That's what my heart is telling me. Ajibade will score from penalty, and then Oshoala will come on, and then she will score from a counter attack and get the winner for us. That's what my heart is saying. 2-1 to the Super Falcons. Yeah. Okay, on that note, let me bring on some people that have been waiting for some time now. I think I kind of know who came first. So Yusuf, welcome to the program. Hello? Are you there?
It's like maybe network.
Okay, it seems like Yusuf is having network issues. Yeah, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Yes.
Welcome.
Where are you joining us from?
From Italy, Florence.
Florence, Italy.
Welcome.
Okay.
Italiano?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes,
very good. Thank you for joining. So very quickly, what do you think?
I'm here for Mr. Layi, only Mr. Layi alone. Honestly, I've been like following this page for a very long time, and I've been watching the live videos and everything that you've been dropping. It's a really big thanks to you guys and everything you've been doing. Kudos and to AyoT as well.
Thank you.
What I want to speak about is about the last match. I don't know, like, because I really watch about the second half alone. So I don't know what happened to the coach that makes him not to decide to put Satoshwala. Because I remember very well that at the World Cup too, the same thing he did. I think maybe second game before he put in Satoshwala, before getting the goal against Australia and something like that. So I kept wondering every time, like, why continuously? Because we need goal against Brazil, and this lady is sitting on the bench. Even if Australia is not at that 100% fit or maybe okay, we know what she can do when she comes into the pitch. But surprisingly, throughout the 90 minutes, nothing. Are you guys here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, my network is somehow. Okay. So I keep wondering why he kept Oshala on the bench without not playing. But anyway, just like the way Mr. Layi talked yesterday, he said he's not that confident against Spain. To be honest with you, I won't be biased and everything. Though it's football, anything can happen. But I still doubt Nigeria winning Spain. Because we know what this Spain bring to football. We know what they can do. About 9 or 8 players of Barcelona are playing the national team. So I don't think we have that standard to win. If we might get a draw, I'll be happy. Just like the video you did yesterday, someone called and said he want the girls to just go there, show themselves, and enjoy the football. That's just it. As for me too, I will just take that as an advice. Just go there, enjoy yourself. If it comes, fine. And if it is the other way, I think there will be. That's where I want to say 4 balls in the match. So
sorry,
that's my head.
Somebody there needs to mute. I can hear myself. But yes, thank you very much, Yusuf. Thank you for joining and sharing your thoughts. I'll let you go now so that we can take other people. But yeah,
All right.
Thank you.
All right, bro. Thank you.
Okay. Felix, welcome to the program.
Yeah, welcome. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Smith Layi. Good evening, Nico. As I've been saying in the comment section, I think the Super Falcons, they do well against possession-based team. When a team is very possessive, I think the Super Falcons can do well. The reason why Brazil were able to match us is because they were physical and they were fast, as equally as us, and I think a bit more technical than we are. But against Spain, I think I'm more confident. Even before this competition, I said it that we're going to beat Spain. You know, we have players who can win the ball. See, there is one thing about a possession-based team. They always keep an eye line because they want to possess you. So if you have 2 midfielders, strong midfielders who can win the ball for you, that is why we need a fast front 3. Because they are keeping an eye line. If you can win the ball earlier, our front 3 will make those runs. And so it will be very easy for us to catch them on the counter. The problem is we won't have much of the ball. But when we have the ball, what we do with it, we determine the outcome of this game. When we don't have the few times we are going to have the ball, our transitions, our counters, when those things are going to be very, very, very important. So when we have the ball, what we will do with it is very important. And I think Nicole Payne and Alozie should be the fullback. Okeke should not start. And they need to be very, very careful, most especially Alozie. You know, 1-on-1v1 against against a very tricky winger. I don't trust her, but I trust her going forward. But 1v1 against a very tricky winger, I don't really trust her. I don't really trust her. And I said it in the comment section too that I will prefer Christy Uchebe sit as the DM. I think Abiodun is the better passer of the ball among the two. She passed the ball better than Christy Uchebe. So I think she should be the one playing as the box to ball or a classic number 10. I don't know the way Randy was to set up. And for the I think Jennifer Echegini, she also play as an attacking. She should not play as a winger. She should play as an attacking midfielder. Payne is good 1v1 against the defender. I've seen that each time, you know, when she's isolated with someone, she dribbles the person. So I think she's very sharp and she can track back very easily to assist Alozie. That is why I'm going to be preferring her in that position. Let Payne play as a right wing forward. Put Jennifer Echegini behind the striker. Now, Ayo, do you know what? I think in this game I'll prefer to start as Sato Shala. I just don't know. I think I have that. I just have that hunch that she will be very instrumental in this game. This is the girl she's played with at Barcelona for many years. She knows these defenders, and you know she doesn't need to get that match. That match alone is enough to inspire her to play well. So I think she should start. Play Jennifer Echegini behind Aisato Shoala. Aisato Shoala, to me, she makes more intelligent runs, better than all our strikers. At the shoulder of the defender, she's very intelligent. She makes more clever runs. I think she's the most intelligent striker we have, definitely. So I think she should start. Our front three should be Tony Payne, Aisato Shoala, and Rashida Tajibade. Play Jennifer Echegini behind them. Play Christy Uchebe, Abiodun as the midfielder, then Alozie, Nico Payne, Osinachi Ale, and Dimein. I think the thing is, if we can just do our own work better, what we do when we won't have much of the ball, but what we do when we have the ball, we determine the outcome of this game. We need to be very quick in transitions. We need to be intelligent in transition. Ajibade, there is no problem with that. You know, that I think we can win this game. Ajibade is very quick. For a team like Spain that likes keeping eye line, definitely we have wingers who are very quick in transition, but they just need to be very intelligent about it. That is it. This game is for us. It's for us to win. That is
okay. And finally, what is your match prediction for this game, Felix?
2-1. Nigeria will score 2. Then Spain will score at the tail end of the game.
Oh, then so we're even going to go 2 goals ahead.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
Wow. I love it. I really hope that happens. But yeah, thank you very much, Felix. Nice to hear from you as always. All right. Dayo, I'll bring you on in a second. Thank you for your patience. Let me just quickly look at what people are saying in the comments. Let me see. I really want us to win, but I feel we will lose by 1-0. That's what Otan Zion says. Ada J3 says, my heart 3-2 to the Falcons, my head 2-0 to Spain. I really, hope that we at least score 1 goal, even if we're losing. Bobby says, Spain's kryptonite, quick passing and transition, crosses and accurate set pieces. Okay. Let me see. Abina Timothy said, AyoT finally predict against Nigeria. We don't win. What does that mean? I've gotten some predictions right. Please don't come and go and check your history, the notes. I've got some predictions right. But Olu says Nigeria 2, Spain 1. I love that. Hopefully we can get the result. I mean, that's what my heart is telling me. So I really hope that happens. Let me see what else we have. Olu also says not having a mentality to win against all odds is giving too much respect to our opponents. So the players must go in there and believe that they can win. I agree with you. And I've spoken to some players, they believe that they can win. They know it's going to be tough, but they believe that they can win. Emeka says the girls should stop passing the ball wrongly in their box. I rewatched the match and I realized there was a problem. I mean, you're right. They shouldn't do that. But at the same time, I always find it a bit funny when people say things like this. And the reason is, like, trust me, any pass that you saw that they passed wrongly, that was not the plan. It's not like, oh, they're just like, oh, let's be passing the ball badly inside the box. No, they are trying to pass it correctly. Things are just not going right sometimes. So I agree they shouldn't do that. But it's not like that's their plan and that's what they are trying to do. They are trying to pass out, they're trying to play accurate passes. But in football, sometimes you turn your leg the wrong way, the pass goes wrong. Somebody comes into your space, the pass goes wrong. Chika says, my heart and head tell me 1-1. Although this game is Barcelona versus Falcons, the Super Falcons are equal to the task. Okay. Black Hebrew King says, wrong passes is a product of rush, unplanned, insecure release of the ball. Enough said. Okay. Ada says, the first goal is crucial. Sorry, somebody said the stream has ended, and that just threw me off a bit. But I think I still see it running.
Instagram is no.
Yeah, Instagram, you know how Instagram cuts you off after some time. That's what happened there. So yeah, anybody that was watching on Instagram, please send them to YouTube. Okay. Nelson says Super Falcons can't concede 3 goals. Check their record. I mean, I really hope so. I hope we don't concede 3 goals. Nameka says, I think our back starts with Ohale, Nicole, Alozie, and Dime. Our forward starts with Oshuala, Ajibade, Kanu, and Echegini. Midfielders, Tony Payne, Ucheibe, and Abiodun. You don't already select 11 players, or you never select goalkeeper. But he says the score will be 2-1 in our favor. When 11 players, you call no goalkeeper. Okay. 233 Ancient says, in game like this, red card is loading. Ajibade, Alozie, Ohale, Deborah. Okay. Bright says, please, my Augusta AyoT, do you realize we are playing against Barcelona? Yes, we are playing against Barcelona with a touch of Real Madrid and Atletico, but we can do it. We can do it, I believe. Clara says, I pray our girls win. I predict 1-0 in favor of the Falcons. Okay. AB says, no stress. Nigeria won't have possession against Spain. Just do counter attack, take chances, and win the game. That's all. Defend like Chris. I see it similar to Australia game at the World Cup. All right. Thank you very much, guys. If you want to come on, the link has been posted on all platforms. Just make sure you have a working camera. Make sure you're decently dressed, and I'll bring you on. But yes, Dio, thank you very much for your patience. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone. Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Where are you joining us from?
UK actually, Norwich, UK.
Okay, yeah, in the UK. I see you are rocking your Niger jersey.
Exactly, but I don't know why we've actually not used this jersey for any of the games yet. I don't know why. Is it because it's been circulation?
We might use it tomorrow. Just it depends on colors, So Spain are playing in their red most likely tomorrow. And typically you don't see 2 dark jerseys. So if Spain play with red, we might wear white tomorrow, but we have to see. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the upcoming fixture?
Yeah, sorry, I have to deviate a bit, basically, talking about jersey. I think I once messaged you on IG concerning the jersey, and I feel it has to do with organization, which our federation sometimes, even if it's IOC, I still believe there should be something done. I sent the message.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean something done? I'm not sure.
On the jersey, we are the only country
that don't have our badge.
Not even a badge. At least
name
or the country flag. Every other country does have. We are the only one who doesn't have, which comes to preparation as well. Of course, I don't want to go into too much blah blah, but obviously, all those little details actually do count. Because
I'm sorry. I agree with you. We're the only ones. Even countries like Mali have
exactly.
The thing is that they can't use the NFF badge because it is not under NFF jurisdiction. But what other countries did is they created an alternate version. Like Brazil, for example, they didn't use their normal Brazil logo, but they created one that has their grain, that has Brazil written on it.
Exactly.
Mali too did something similar. They
Exactly.
altered their own. But, you know, it's probably last minute that we called Nike to even, I beg, send jersey, or maybe not forget. So we know how we don't plan things.
It's so bad. Even the letterings at the back of the jerseys too. I don't know if you took notice of it. It was quality. I don't know. I'm pretty much picky like that. So,
but don't worry. Let's get into the game. Let's get into the game.
So for the game, basically, yeah, we're playing against the number one team in the world, the Spanish team. We've got flair. They can pass the ball. They can hold on to the ball. Typical like their men. Of course, Barcelona is actually one of the. I think it's the best female football team as well.
Yeah,
it's going to be a tough ask. Realistically, it's going to be a tough ask on the girls. On the previous game they played, actually, I would say at the point, I think they gave too much respect to Brazil. We play almost the same kind of game, and I think at the point in time, after the goal came in, someone was talking about mentality. I wouldn't say it is mentality, but I think after the goal came in, the attitude went down. Kind of like I saw that people they were just kind of like frustrated to some extent, realistically, which is understandable, basically. A draw would have actually been a good result in the last game against Brazil. But now it's going to be a very tough ask playing against Spain. It will be, personally, I think it's going to end 3-1 in favor of Spain. Even though my heart, I would want Super Falcons to win. I was actually meant to be in the game in Bordeaux, but personal things didn't actually make me go. I'm hoping to. Of course, I can't see the one against Spain or against Japan. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I could be there, but it was. I was watching with my little boy, and he was like pretty much disappointed, basically, because he typically supports Nigeria too all the way. And that game too. I don't know why Azar Shola at least didn't have any cameo, at least feature in the game. I want to believe maybe the substitutions he made earlier on in the game actually kind of like annulled the use of Oshoala. I don't know, because at the end of the day, he was not going to take off Okoronkwo again to bring in Oshoala. I think he only made 4 substitutions instead of 5 at the end of the day. I think so. So I don't think Oshoala, the earlier substitutions kind of like annulled the introduction of Oshoala in that game. But going forward, in the next game, of course, those who ended the game, of course, everybody's clamoring for Nicole Payne to start, which I actually believe is going to be the best option, right? It's either for KK. So if Nicole Payne starts, those who ended the game should actually start and bring in Asado Shola to whatever. I don't want Asado to start because he gets tired pretty much his age, her speed actually has kind of like reduced. Even though she's the most experienced striker we've got in the squad right now. And of course, she's going to cause a lot of problems to the Spanish defense. One person I actually want them to watch out against is that Caldense girl. I think she's not well known that well, but she is pretty much dangerous. She is very. She moves around. If you see that in the last game, the way she moves around, she moves into the flanks, she moves into the center of the field. She's pretty much diverse. I'm an Arsenal fan, so basically, I think for Arsenal women, basically, she's a very good buy. But so I've been watching her clips, and I've been like, well, this girl is going to be pretty much dangerous, and she's someone the team actually look out for. Yeah. 2 defensive midfielders will be ideal for this game, realistically. Hold on, tighten the middle, basically. Start Nicole on the right, Alozie on the left, because that's the only option we've got, realistically, personally. We miss Alimato Ayinde and Ashley Prompter. Those 2, I think, if those 2 were actually in the squad, we would play the same way we were playing in the World Cup. Because I think we don't actually kind of like, we'll still figure it out with those people in the squad. But of course, lack of those 2, you just have to make do with what we've got. And so I think playing Abiodun and Alimatu in the middle, Eche Jene. Ideally, I actually would, I don't know, Tony Payne, she's in and out for me personally. But who also play in that position? I think she was losing, her passes were not clicking. She was holding on to the ball pretty much too much, personally. But I think she's a better player, actually. Come to it, because of course, if you're not that good, you won't even go to Everton in the first place. She's been signed to Everton right now. So yeah. But hopefully, I'm hoping a draw. My heart says a draw. But my head is saying Spain win. And against Japan, I think we have a better chance against Japan than Spain, realistically.
All right.
You never can say 3 points could even take us to
So yeah, 3 points could be enough. It depends on how it happens in other groups.
Yeah,
But
so,
yeah. All right.
yeah.
Thank you
I think
very
that's
much.
it, basically.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your
you.
thoughts. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, cheers.
All right. That was Mr. Dio from the UK. And then next up we have Temitope. Temitope, I see you come on every week, so thank you for joining us. Thank you. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Maybe try to fix your mic and come back. I can't hear you. AB, please, if you want to come on, turn on your camera. While we're waiting for Temitope to fix his mic. Prof Data. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, but I think.
Are you hearing me?
I'm getting
I'm listening.
Turn off.
Okay, wait, let me turn off. Yeah, let me turn off the other device. Wait, don't worry, I'm turning off. It's another device. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. First of all, I want to say I'm happy of the show you guys are doing. Mr. Peter, I didn't watch the last match, but I watched the highlights and I listened to your commentary, not only from your station and other stations. But one thing I think the Nigerian team should do is to field Oshoala in the first half, no matter what. The reason is this: her presence will be a kind of psychological advantage to us. This is a lady that has played her football in Spain for some time, reasonable time. They all know her. Her presence there is going to be a boost to us. That's what I feel should be done. Then later in the game, if there will be need, she could be substituted. Another thing I think the team should do is, always mistakes always exist in life. They should correct their mistakes, because from what I saw against Brazil, I also listened to the analysis. The Ghanaian station, I listened to the analysis. The Ghanaian guy was saying that the Nigerian team actually did well. It's just a pity that that goal came the way it came, and we all missed our own chances. So to me, I feel the team should find out a way to be more potent before goals, because we miss chances. There's no two ways about that. And they should be very wary of Spain, because one thing I saw, they're very good in walking a ball into the net. They're very good at that. We saw what happened against Japan. If it wasn't that free kick Japan scored against Spain, maybe Japan wouldn't have been able to score a goal in that match. So that's what I feel the Nigerian team should do. We should lose hope. That's one thing I believe, because I remember in the year 1999, Nigeria beat Denmark. That was the last group match. I have done the research, but I'm not convinced to the research. Denmark came to that championship as European champions. We beat them 2-0. Took place on June 27, 1999. Exactly a year we lost to Denmark on June 28, 1998. So, these things, we're in a top group, I agree. But, I believe strongly if the team prepares themselves well, they can defeat Spain. Spain is going to prepare very hard again for us, because the Spain initially, around 2014 is not the Spain we know. Spain, they are the champions in under 17, under 20, and the Senior World Cup. So, to be a joke, but that is what I feel.
All right.
Hello, are you hearing me?
And then I'll ask you, what is your... Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
What is your score prediction for that game?
That match, I'm going to call it a 3-2 victory. That's what I'm going to put. That's 3-2 victory. What happened in France 98 is going to happen again. That's what I'm going to say.
All right. Thank you very much, Prof. Data, for that one. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. We had some audio issues there, so I hope it wasn't too bad for those that were listening. But yes, Thank you for that prediction. 3-2
Okay.
victory for the Super Falcons against Spain. Okay, Temitope, I see you are back. Let me bring you on and hopefully the issues are fixed. Hello? Hello? Okay, Temitope, we still cannot hear you. We still cannot hear you. AB, welcome to the show.
Uh, Good morning.
Yes,
I
good morning, good morning. Thank you. Where are you calling from?
am from Florida.
You are enjoying the warm weather. All right.
I mean,
Okay.
nice, nice, awesome, delivery today. I really, really watch you guys a lot from the Nations Cup, but this is
Thank
my
you.
first time.
I always see your comments. Don't worry. I know you.
Yeah, and see, you guys are doing a great job. I like the sometimes like you speak my mind, like when you're watching and you cannot, but I just see you guys. Sometimes you just speak my mind.
Thank you.
For me, I've always watched Falcons for years, but just to stay with this game, I feel like somebody said, and some people have said it as well. Sometimes we pay too much respect. Like our girls need to start believing that we can actually do well at the world stage. You know what I mean? Like Olympics, like we can actually take on these people. Because for me, I feel like the Brazil game, we respected them a little bit too much. That's what I think. Like sometimes you need to watch respectfully the way South Africa plays in Africa. So they knock the ball. Like sometimes they play like the way some of these things. Even sometimes you see Zambia, like the way they will play as if no, they want to finish it. I look at Nigeria when we play Sierra Leone, some of these small teams. These girls will go in as if they want to finish them. So sometimes we need to come with this confidence that we know it's Brazil, we respect them, they are legends. Matter is the ball. Let's play like we can win. Maybe that's what I feel. Then for this Spain game, we know, Putellas, Carmona, all these guys, Bomati, they are really, really, standard, what standard players in Barcelona and all those things. But I feel like what we can do is that I feel like we'll not, I've made that comment before, may not really have a lot of the ball, we may not have a lot of the ball, but like somebody said earlier, when we have the ball, we should just make good use of it. And that's why I feel we need Oshuala, because no matter what we say, like maybe she doesn't perform well at this, but she still has that sense. Like she's the only one that look at that goal she scored against Australia at the World Cup. Not all of Australia can do that. She could read that, oh, what if this defender screws up? Even to tap that ball to enter is not a small thing. So I feel like Oshuala, and somebody said Oshuala's presence alone, will bring this morale, like maybe these people, Nigerian team really wants to win. So I feel Oshuala to start. She may not play 90 minutes for me, but I think she should start the game. Then for me, I think I loved Nicole Payne on that wing. I think she should just start. Okay. I don't know why Imoran. I don't know why she didn't make the team, but I thought Rafiat Imoran is also very good. But fine, I think Nicole Payne should start on the wings for me. The main, I'm just praying because that girl has something. You know what I mean? Like sometimes she's not super confident, but thank God Ohale is there to always back her up. So they should still maintain the back four. I feel like Nicole Payne, the main, and Ohale 5 and 6 we know. On Alozie, well, when we had Plumter, we knew what she could do because Plumter is a naturally attacking three that she's ginger and but we don't have her. So Alozie there in the wings, in the middle. Deborah and sometimes when I watch Uchebi, so for me, I feel like sometimes she plays well, but sometimes she's lost in the game. Like maybe her mind is somewhere. Sometimes she belittles her ability. Like she can really do so well, but she kind of sometimes like, okay, I'll just try. Maybe but fine. Uchebi and Deborah, in deep, they will play deep. They will mark that game. They will just be running out. They will mark a lot because those girls will. Spain will not cost a lot. That one is certain. Then maybe of course this lady that plays 10. Sorry, that what does she wear now? The other what's her name?
Alozie?
No, Tony Payne. Tony Payne.
Oh, Tony Payne. Okay.
Tony Payne, yeah, Nicole Payne, yeah. Tony Payne, makes the other three. Then the top three. Oshuala in the middle, Ajibade, of course. Then maybe Esther Okoronkwo. They can always switch. Maybe Esther, because Esther Okoronkwo, for me, I see as a very clinical striker. Like if she's given more chance to play, Like she's really, the way she traps the ball, the way she makes her runs, I feel like that girl is very, very good. So that's what I think. In my head, I feel like in my head, I maybe if we are lucky enough, maybe a 2-1, victory for Nigeria. But I just pray things don't go bad. Because remember when Spain beat us, is it under 17 at 3-0 or something like that? Like if things go bad, Nigeria can also lose that game. That is the way I see realistically, But I just pray and hope. We don't have the days of Okobi is gone. He was a standing tender. Okobi, a very hard worker, but we don't have those ladies again. I just pray, we
All
we
right.
get picture as a Nigerian.
All right. Thank you very much, AB. Nice to see your face and hear your voice. Thank you for always engaging with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Okay. So I think we'll wrap up in a few minutes. Let me just see if we have some more comments to take. Let me see. Kehinde Olufemi says, if we concede first against Spain, game over. I mean, we considered first against Australia now. We still won the game. So that never say die spirit. It did, body, don't worry. Bright Edwards, Bright Ewemade, I don't know how I saw Edwards, says Oshoala should come in the second half. She should tell her teammates about the Spanish players because they were once teammates. Black Hebrew King says, what you're saying about mindset to win is how we won the 1996 Olympics in ATL. All right. I definitely think that we should go in there with a positive mindset. Believe that we can win. If you go into a game and you think that you cannot win, then you've already lost. So we definitely have to go into the game believing that we can win, and giving everything on the field. Bobby says with Spain's high line, we can bypass the midfield with long, accurate balls over the top. And Eagles Flight is saying, can we go 3-5-2? Yes, we can, but I don't think our issue is that we need extra bodies in defense. Honestly, I think with our same setup, we can get a positive result. It's all about organization and what we do when we actually have the ball. And something that I will say, because a lot of people talk about Oshoala should start second half. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even I, in my lineup, I put Oshoala on the bench. But sometimes people say, oh, she cannot play 90 minutes. She gets that. I honestly disagree. I've watched Oshoala play for BFC multiple times this season. She plays 90 minutes. She runs around for 90 minutes. So, I always say sometimes Nigerian fans, yes, maybe they were not happy with one or two of her performances when she was playing for the Super Falcons. Then all of a sudden, they just make all sorts of projections and assumptions, and they'll just come to a conclusion that is not based on facts, just based on feeling. Sometimes they'll say, oh, her weight, her this, or that. And I'm like, you're just assuming things, they're just guessing. You just feel away and you're making all sorts of things up. Oshoala has the ability to play 90 minutes if that's what we need her to do. She does it for her club. The only thing that is a fact is that Oshoala gets injured more often these days. So that might be a reason for the coach not to want her to run around for 90 minutes. Just say, hey, we don't want you to risk any injury, anything like that, which I can understand. And if you remember, that was the major reason why she was on the bench at the World Cup. The first game, she wasn't fit at all. The second game, she was fit, but only fit enough to start on the bench. And Wardrum did not want to risk an injury. So that's what I will say. And that's the reason why I would put her on the bench. Just because, yes, she can get injured fairly easier these days. But she can play 90 minutes. Go and watch her for her club. A lot of people don't watch women's club football. They just watch Super Falcons and they think they know everything about the player. Go and watch her for her club. She can run around for 90 minutes. That is not an issue. But yes, I think we've had all the callers for today. Thank you to everyone that's called in. We always love to hear you guys' opinion. If you are still on YouTube and you haven't liked the video, please make sure you like the video. If you would like to support the channel, you can, of course, on YouTube leave a super chat. You can become a member of the channel. And if you want to get some high quality merchandise, caps, phone cases, hoodies, and much more, make sure you check eaglestrackershop.com for your high quality Nigerian football merchandise. Okay, Smith Layi, before we go, let's get the final word from you. What is your final word regarding this game?
For me, I just agree with AB that Australia will be very instrumental in this game. Australia makes a run that is different from any striker that we have. She runs on the shoulder, of defenders, and that is a big problem. She doesn't stay with, like, she doesn't get lost. She tried to make those runs, and that was why Nico Payne was able to find him in the third goal against Australia. So I think it's going to pose a different threat to the Spanish national team. So for me, start or not start, I just think that Australia will be very instrumental in that game. I didn't start her, but I just think that coming on the second half, she might actually do something that's can be beneficial for Nigeria in that game.
Mm.
Yes.
And yeah, I would agree with you. I think Oshola, in my prediction, I said Oshola will come on and score. So I
Yes.
definitely believe that she has the ability to be influential in this game. I hope that she is influential. I hope that she's giving her teammates all the tips and tricks that they need to know. Maybe something that used to happen to one of these girls in training, one of the things that she always used to get wrong, let them know
Mhm.
about it so that they can know how to take advantage. And at the end of the day, my message to every fan, every Nigerian out there is, hey, support the girls. We know it's not going to be an easy match, but writing messages about how, oh, we cannot play against them, we cannot compete against them, it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help we the fans. Let's all support the girls. Let's get behind them. If we win, we'll be so delighted. If we lose, hey, we take it on the chin and we know that we lost to a better side. But one thing that I can promise you is that these players are going to give everything. They are going to work hard, they are going to play together, and they are going to leave it all out there on the field to try to get a good result, to try to get a win against the Spanish national team. As always, it's been a pleasure, talking to you guys, engaging with you. Please make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, get more people involved. Let them know about the beautiful, fantastic content that we're always creating. Let them get tuned into Nigerian football. I believe that even if somebody is not a regular follower of Nigerian football, if they start watching our show, they will fall in love with no time. So please make sure you share with your friends. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe on all platforms. And we'll see you again after the game against Spain. And hopefully we'll come here and we'll be singing and dancing, at the end of the day. As always, my name is AyoT. My co-host is,
Smith Layi.
yes, this is the Niger